What food do you swear people only pretend to like? The food my nephew makes. It's too salty and it's always made out of Play-Doh. Roommate in college would eat cereal with water in between paychecks, then just quit buying milk. Why not just eat it dry? Anything that's classified as a local delicacy, there's usually a reason it's remained local. And yes, I'm Scandinavian. How'd you guess Edit? All the exceptions you've listed sound disgusting, and your taste does not generalize as well as you think it does. Tonic water. It's like angry poison water. Why would anyone drink that on purpose? If I've learned anything in this thread, it's that I'm clearly uncultured. I've got no idea what 70% of these foods are. Some of the jello salads out there. Green jello with carrots and sometimes raisins is an abomination also. Whatever the hell my mom used to make with cottage cheese and orange jello. My family had this weird notion that if you put healthy stuff in jello, that it was a side dish and not a dessert. Nope. You just ruin two foods by making unnatural combinations with them. Mom never did come across a jello recipe that she thought was a bad idea though. Edit. Thanks for the awards. Edit 2. Since it's a frequently asked question. I'm not from Utah or the Midwest. Mom and grandma aren't either. They're from Los Angeles. Lutefisk. As a Swede, surströmming. Oh yeah, jelly deals. Acid flavored fish wrapped in some nasty gelatinous slime. Gefilte fish. I refuse to believe anyone under the age of 80 enjoys this food. It's not normal. Chitlins. Seriously, its intestines sorta cleaned and cooked. That's it. Ever hear of hot lettuce? Yes, it smells like a tire fire. Edit. I'm floored by the response to this comment. I had no idea this was so foreign to everyone else. Edit 2. I'm disabling inbox replies. All three of the things people are asking saying have been asked, said now 20k times. Thanks for joining me on this weird journey of disgust. I have the soap gene for cilantro, so I had my fiancé try a bit raw to tell me what it tasted like. Does it really just taste like grass for people without my curse? Anything I cook bake. Chitterlings. The end. Everybody gonna say oysters, and even though I love oysters I get what they mean. Fear the texture of a thick sludgy. They taste like salt water and algae that's marinated an old piece of discarded bubble gum. But I love them. I love them so much. I love them with horseradish, lemon juice and hot sauces. They're mostly just a vector for those flavors I guess. But I'd never really argue with a person who hates on them. They're objectively correct. I've just eaten so many things at this point. Whacked off my taste buds so much. Made them numb with fire and acid. That I've evolved to some twisted realm of flavor where culinary cenobites make me genuinely enjoy some clearly disgusting meal. Limburger cheese. It smells and tastes like sweaty feet. Edit. A lot of people are saying that Limburger cheese tastes good despite its foul odor. I've never actually tried it. I just made a hypothesis about the taste. And for all the people who like it, you can like what you like. I don't care, as long as it's not hurting anyone. Thanks for all the comments, upvotes, and awards everyone. Durian. The smell of some durian tea from an ex-coworker led to everyone in my then office thinking there was a gas leak. Raw eggs. There's bound to be a better way to see rear hangover. This is the opposite, but I'd just like to say, not Brussels sprouts. Growing up on TV made me think Brussels sprouts was the most horrible thing to exist, but I finally tried them, and they are actually so delicious. Popcorn with ketchup. I don't even want to talk about it. Ballot. I spent quite some time in the Philippines and I never saw one person actively enjoying the food, but eating it because cheap and easy to get. Edit. I'm by no means bashing the Philippines. Love the culture and its people. You'll just eat some weird shit. Snails. Had them. Nothing thrilling. It's all about the butter and garlic oil. Fermented soybeans natto. Wow, so many people hate everything I love. Mayo. Grape nuts. If I wanted that texture and no flavor I would go outside and chew on gravel. Liver pudding. Yes, it is a real thing. Caviar. I'd like some salt paste please for $100 a scoop. This thread makes me feel 30% understood and 70% completely angry that people don't like avocado. Marmite. There's literally a series of adverts made by the company where the whole premise is this acid tastes so terrible that even the slightest scraping will make you vomit. They're not even pretending anymore. It's not a food as much as it is an inter-office dare to see just what nasty BLLS it they can convince people to eat it. To everyone queuing up to tell me that I'm missing out and that you need to use the smallest amount possible. Believe me, I do. The smallest amount possible is 0. And I find that improves the taste dramatically. Hot or cooked avocado. Anything rose or floral flavored. Like I wanted a cake, not a cake that smells like flowers and tastes like soap. Everything I eat at Rosh Hashanah. Chopped liver, gefilte fish, kugel noodles with cottage cheese and raisins. Everything is described as an acquired taste, which is code for not good. Liver and pig's feet. I eat all types of food. I eat sushi, caviar, oysters, beef heart, tongue, etc. But those two foods in particular have a certain taste that just broadcasts what they are, and it isn't positive. Those bitter gross leaves in some salads. Those are weeds, not food. Healthy doesn't mean it needs to taste like poison. Definitely natto. Weird, no gluten, no dairy, no sugar, no chocolate cheese cakes and similar substitutions. IDK if this counts, but vodka. Some people are like, oh, I love me a good glass of vodka. Duck you. No you don't. This is blasphemy. I read through pretty much all replies here hoping for a revelation about the lies we tell ourselves, but found no valid examples. It's mostly things that some people dislike, but that others obviously love. Liver, oysters, avocado, okra, kale, snails, surströmming etc. People like different things. I was hoping for something that people eat, even though they hate it, just because it's expected of them for some reason. Maybe we're not surrounded by as many pretentious assholes as we thought. I can only conclude that everything is possible to enjoy. You can probably learn to like most things you have a dislike for, so go out there and eat some gross looking stuff and learn to love it. Try things with an icky flavor or texture in a new context. You might learn something new about yourself. Because really, isn't the moment when we stop learning to appreciate new things the moment we start dying at it? I'll concede that high-end caviar seems unlikely to be 1,000 times tastier than the common types. I haven't tried beluga, so I couldn't say for sure. But it feels more like a rich people don't necessarily have a richer palate, but don't want to look dumb by admitting it. Dealio. Sprinkles. You all pretend to like them because they're cute, but in reality they ruin whatever they are on. Leave my cupcake alone with your glittery crunchy nasty bullshit. Lot of you are forgetting that you need to cook or prepare food right to get the proper tasty result. Well done steak. It destroys the flavor and texture. You may as well just save yourself some money and buy chicken instead. Ass. It's sweaty and dirty. Miracle Whip, to quote Kyle Kinane, mayonnaise doesn't go bad, it just becomes Miracle Whip. That extra tang in there, you know what that is. Patience. Sugar substitutes. Both artificial and natural. By that I mean aspartame, stevia, etc. Not things like agave nectar or honey. They're fucking gross. I don't care how few calories they have. They taste like acid. Excessive weird chemically cloying sweetness. Followed by a bitter, metallic aftertaste. Neither of which you can rid of from your mouth. German psychologist here. In my first year of education we had some lessons about reading gestures and mimic people we talk to. Summarizing, you could say we were teached in telling if the person in front of us is lying. After the lessons I asked my professor for several other situations where you can find out if the person is lying. We came to the result that the easiest situation to read the gestic would be eating. For those who don't know, the human species feels safe while eating. So while we take the first bite our mimic is completely emotionless. If the food then turns out to be really bad you can see it in slight changes of the facial expression of the person, i.e. slight chin changes or wiggling ears. Sometimes a raise of some hairs on the forehead. So when you walk across the street and see people eating in restaurants you can see if the people like the food or not. In a little chart I made I put datas in of friends of mine and which food turned out to be bad, although they said it was perfect. So just talking about my recipes, it turned out that most of my friends dislikes my homemade cookies. After being used to read the taste of my friends, I tried it on the street by telling people in restaurants if they like the food or not. In 84 of my guessing I was right. I also added the data in a new chart of mine. Turns out that very much people really don't like a Big Mac. And I really don't know why. Sorry for the bad English, but for a German it's difficult to write this. While watching a video from back in 1998 when the Undertaker threw mankind off HLL in a cell and plummeted 16 feet through an announcer's table. Gefilte fish.